It's time for the insane, the honest, and the profane with your hosts, Brandon Combs.
Jed Hoyer has been a coward as a GM. He doesn't go out and he doesn't make the big splash signings. He doesn't spend the money in the right places. But then I don't let Craig Counsell off the hook because, yes, did he get put in a bad spot with this rotation by Jed Hoyer? Absolutely. But then you didn't put those guys that you did have in a position to succeed in the playoffs.
And Ryan Fitzgibbons.
I mean, if he's just as good as Justin Fields, it's probably the worst draft pick in the history of Bears football. It probably is. And one of the worst draft picks in the history of the NFL.
It's Combs and Fitz, Windy City Sports Talk, right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
And welcome to Combs and Fitz, Windy City Sports Talk. It's your boy, Brandon Combs, along with my guy, Ryan Fitzgibbons. Fitzy, it's Packers week.
We're here. Woo, baby.
It's
Get
Packers
them
week.
cheeseheads.
And we said at the beginning of the year, well, at least I did, that we would know what this team was by Thanksgiving. We are now a week removed from Thanksgiving. We are a week removed from you owing me a steak dinner, by the way.
I do.
From the Bears going into Philadelphia and manhandling the Philadelphia Eagles, as I said that they would, and even though Ryan Fitzgibbons picked against them.
I did. Me and a lot of people with a brain and that aren't psychotic.
And you and those people without a brain
don't wear a jersey and a new
Bears.
hat every week with 10 helmets behind them. And
you picked against the Bears, and you were wrong. Like you are so quite often, actually, when we make picks. But it's Packers week, baby.
I went 9-2 one week. So
yeah.
And there was no fanfare at all. There was no fanfare.
Yeah. You and Breezy were wrong a lot last week in our picks, by the way.
We were.
I was right.
Breezy took the Raiders too, which
Yeah. But look, man, it's been a while.
That's what's NFL. That's what the NFL is all about.
We got free hot dogs because of our coach, Ben Johnson, who did like a madman, took his shirt off in a post game in the locker room with the boys. That guy makes me want to run through freaking walls, man. Watching his speech makes me want to run through walls. I'm running out of walls to run through for this man.
We had a guy take his shirt off. We had a guy take his shirt off during our show before.
We did.
I'm not sure that's going to make our show any more popular.
No, especially now with the certain
very
individual
different
that took his shirt off.
Very different.
Wasn't a great sight. We are.
What's the show starting with today? The Sox signing Anthony Kay or the impact of Ethan Katz moving on? I don't think there's going to be much of an impact of Ethan Katz. I'm not going to talk about the Sox today. Stop it, Jeremiah.
We can talk a little bit of baseball later on, but we're gonna start with the Bears and Packers. We will let you know as a college football playoff. I've got it on in the background right now. I am intently watching because it's going to be interesting to see what the selection committee does today. Final three spots, I believe, are between Alabama, Notre Dame, and Miami. And what does the committee do there? Bama, with their impressive resume, I mean, they've got, I think, 5 wins against teams in the top 26 in the FPI. Their resume is ridiculous. To me personally, even as a Notre Dame fan, Bama deserves to be ranked ahead of Notre Dame with that resume alone. But they get blown out in the SEC title game. It kind of paints a different picture. Does Miami get in over Alabama? Does Alabama get in? I think Notre Dame's in regardless, but we're going to see what they do. Why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be?
Well, I mean, I think out of those 3 teams that let's take BYU kind of out of it because that's just a weird.
Are you going to make me kill you this early in the show?
That's kind of a weird argument. I actually agree with you there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say out of those 3 teams, and I know what's 2 out of the 3 are probably going to be picked. I'd say Miami has the best case.
Are you out of your mind?
Just because they beat Notre Dame and Alabama's lost 3 games. It's the same. I don't know if it was last year. I think it was last year or the year before, but I think it was last year we were having the same conversation about Alabama. You lose 3 games or you lose an extra game than everybody else. Bye. Sorry. I don't care how you lost the games. You lost an entire extra game than everybody else is in the playoffs. Before that, I just can't.
2 years ago when we had that conversation, Alabama didn't have 4 consecutive victories against top 15 opponents and 6 top 15 opponents on their schedule. It's a different conversation.
What are we saying here? Are we
what are we saying about Miami
on wins and losses? Are we ranking teams on how well they're going to do in the playoffs?
What would you say about Miami then, who lost to Louisville and lost to who was their other loss?
They beat Notre Dame and they have an extra win than Alabama. If they're facing off against either of those teams, if you have an entire extra win, if you have one less loss, I'm sorry. The conversation. If
Miami played Notre Dame or Alabama right now, they would be at the minimum a 6-point underdog against both teams.
Granted,
because they're not as good as either team.
Granted, yeah, Miami did beat Notre Dame when Notre Dame wasn't as good as they are now. And they won on a guy literally flipping up in the air and kicking the ball, like flipping backwards, kicking the ball up in the air, and somehow it gets caught by a Miami player. That's kind of what won them the game. So it is a little weird, but still.
You're going up against a Notre Dame team with a true freshman quarterback in his first game in a monsoon on the road, and you won by a field goal. But then later on, you did 2 things that Notre Dame hasn't done all year, and those 2 things are losing to unranked opponents. Losses versus unranked opponents.
Let's take this to the professionals. Let's take this to professionals because I like professional football and professional sports more than this fake prep sports. So yeah, these kids are student athletes, college that we just all lie to ourselves about. Let's take it to the professionals.
They are professionals.
Season ends today. The NFL season ends today. Bears lose to the Packers. Who wins the division?
The Bears by half a game because the Packers have a tie.
The Bears would be 9-4. The Packers would be 9-3-1.
They would be 9-3-1.
Yeah, they would have a better winning percentage, and they would win by a half a game. And they would win the division because they lost less games than the Bears lost. So they're in. That's the professionals. Let's speak to the professionals. The professionals have
Bears would also
out
be
already.
In,
no one argues every year. It's over. I don't know why you're holding. Is there a Roll Tide sign behind you or another helmet? Do you have enough helmets behind you? I'm just saying. They have one more loss than the other 2 teams. It's pretty easy for me. I don't care about all the whining you want to do. You can do the Bear. You're a Bears fan. I mean, how many terrible losses have the Bears had where it's like they shouldn't have 10 losses this season? And they do. They weren't in the playoffs anyway.
The other thing between the biggest difference between college and pros when it comes to the playoff is that it's a different animal, right? Because nobody's voting. There's no rankings in the NFL. It's based off a record. And I agree with you that college football should go to that. I agree with you that college football should be determined by wins and losses. There's no reason why Duke should have been in the ACC title game over 5 teams that have better records than them. But they were. And then they found a way to win, which is really going to screw the ACC because they're not going to get any teams in, I don't think. I don't think Miami's in. I think Bama's in over Miami because that's the way the college football playoff works. That's the way the committee works. How much money can we make if Miami is playing versus if Alabama is playing? And that's what's going to end up happening.
I get all of that. That doesn't make it right. I mean, it doesn't make it right. We do a lot of things. It's not
about right or wrong.
In this country, we do a lot of things with money that I would disagree with. It doesn't make it right. And I don't care if a team gets blown out. If they're supposed to be there, they won another game. They lost one last game. I'm sorry. They're supposed to be there. Sorry, college football. I don't make the rules. Izzy says, setting up my Christmas tree today, using yours as a tutorial on what not to do. Well, I think my tree, how about this, Izzy? Oh, you found that funny. Are you having a good time over there? Are you having a good time over there? I don't know.
Because of the penis tree
Might be
behind
right.
you?
My tree may have syphilis or chlamydia, depending on how you're feeling today.
Or both.
Or both.
Or both.
Joe Fitz says
Miami
Miami
lost
lost
to SMU.
SMU. That
They
is
did.
that is true. All that being
That was
true.
the other. Yeah, that was the other unranked team that they lost to. And here's the other.
I
thing
know
with
he's one of my
Miami.
brothers, and maybe he can't count. Miami has 2 losses. Alabama 3. 3
Here's
more
the
than
other
2.
thing with Miami, though, is that Miami didn't even make their own conference championship game because their own conference was dumb enough to have a tiebreaker rule that allowed a 5-loss team to get to the conference. There were 5 teams ahead of them with better overall records, but the tiebreaker wasn't the overall record. The tiebreaker was the win percentage of their opponents on their schedule. What a dumb rule by the ACC. And now that's going to cost the ACC any playoff team. Because if you have Miami versus Virginia, if you have Pitt versus Virginia, if you have, anybody other than Duke versus Virginia, the winner of your conference championship is going to the playoff. But instead you put Duke in there, and Duke goes and plays spoiler and beats Virginia against all freaking odds.
Yeah.
I mean, Duke lost to UConn, for Christ's sake.
It's
They
a
were
football.
7-5. They were barely bowl eligible.
Again, it's a football game. I guess anybody can lose. I don't want that to go towards my argument of Alabama having one more loss. I still don't understand why that's a tiebreaker. There's no tie.
There's a tie in the comp because they don't, when it comes to the conference championship in the ACC, they go by conference record and not overall record. And there were 4 teams in the ACC that were 6-2 in conference play, and one of those teams was Duke. And even though Duke's 7-5, they get in over all the other teams that are 9-2, 10-2, 8-3, 7-5. Everyone wants to know if Combs is rocking a bagel.
You know, there was a story someone once told me.
What are you talking about? If I'm rocking a bagel, what the hell does that even mean?
Maybe your waistline. Maybe he's talking about your waistline.
Oh yeah, rocking a freaking case of bagels. If that's
hello, guys. Hey, Austin. Who do you got today? Can we get back to the Bears Packers? Can we bring the show back to the Bears? So what's about to happen? I'm like already sweating. I'm excited.
We've got 4 hours before kickoff.
It's palpable. It's palpable. I am excited.
Look, it's been since 2018 since the last time the Bears played a game against the Packers in which they were good.
Are you circumcised?
What is going on right now?
Our comments, once again, almost nothing to do with what we're talking about.
What did that say? Guy rocking the Bears
gear.
Circumcised.
What? Circumcised? Question mark.
Yeah, I am. Thanks for asking.
Oh my God! Who the hell cares?
Exactly.
I don't really want to know. Maybe I did want to know.
Packers versus Bears. Look, I hear a lot of things about this game. The one thing that I know is that the Bears being a 6.5 point underdog, it was 7.5 at one point. I believe that's where it opened at. That's a slap in the face, right?
Really, after beating Philly. I mean, even I thought the Philadelphia -7, or was it -7.5 at game time, whatever it was. I thought that was kind of a slap in the face for a team that had played well. It just beat Pittsburgh. They play well against a lot of teams, and I don't get it, especially with the weather today. That's going to be very cold in Green Bay. I don't know
Yeah.
where the wind's at, but that's a real it is disrespectful. I agree.
Yeah, and look, you go through these things where there are teams that people don't believe in no matter what the record is. The New England Patriots are one of them because they haven't played anybody. They're a team that I've said before, I don't know how good they are, and we probably won't know until next year when they play a stronger schedule. But your record is what it is. You beat the teams that are in front of you, and if you don't beat the teams that are in front of you and you're playing lesser competition and you have a losing record, we're going to eat you alive. The Bears are coming off of a win against the defending champions in their own home in prime time, in which they dominated that Eagles team. I mean, that was a dominant victory by the Chicago Bears. I mean, they were doing everything and anything that they wanted to that Eagles team, offensively and defensively. This is a Eagles team that doesn't turn the ball over much, and the Bears forced 3 of them. And now you're going to be going up against a Green Bay Packer team who also does not turn the ball over much as I don't believe in Jordan Love as a franchise quarterback for the next 5-10 years. He doesn't turn the ball over a ton.
He hasn't this year. He has not this year. Last year he did, and other years he did. He's played well.
But the Bears are getting healthy on defense. The Bears are you're getting Jalen Johnson. You're getting all of these guys back. I believe Edwards is playing today. You are getting all of these pieces back. Now, granted, you're without Rome Odunze, which is a huge blow for the Bears, especially with the news coming out that he's playing with a fracture in his foot. It's it's going to be a couple of weeks before we at least see him back, but I think that this Bears team, man, I just think they're good. And I think that they find ways to win. They find ways to win these games. And it's just not something that we're accustomed to. So as Bears fans, we're kind of like we're waiting for the downfall. And this is it, Ben Johnson, right here. This is it. Because if you lose this game today, you'll still be 9-4, which is still a pretty damn good record for a team that we thought was only going to win 8 or 9 games. But if you lose this week, 9-4, heading into week 15 is not what people are going to be talking about. They're going fans in this city, the media in this city are going to be talking about, loss of the Packers again. So we've got to find a way to win this game. I think the Bears do find a way to win this game. I really do. I think that the Bears, I hate to say it, and people don't like me saying it out loud, I think the Bears are going to sweep the Packers this year. I really do. I think they're a better team. I think they're better coached.
Yeah, and with the Packers losing to Devontae Wyatt, am I getting that name right? I'm trying to pull it up. I think that's it. Their tackle for the Green Bay Packers that they lost, and they're bringing in, I forget the other guy's name, but still, having that and not having it, basically their nose tackle being out, losing to that. I mean, their run defense has been okay this season, the Packers, but I think, I mean, I mean, that Eagles defensive line, I don't know if there's a more talented defensive line. They weren't as good as last year, but that defensive line basically won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
For the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, you could say, oh yeah, Jalen Hurts did a lot of good things. The offensive line is very good for Philadelphia. You could say all those things as well. But good morning, AJ. How you doing, sir? But it was also that defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles. The Chiefs couldn't do anything, and the Chiefs had a pretty good offensive line last year. And there was also you had Vic Fangio as the defensive coordinator, kind of confused. I mean, Patrick Mahomes never looked comfortable until the game was over, and then he got some trash stats in that game. But still, you push them around. I mean, it doesn't happen, man. This is the point I wanted to make, which I don't always make the point I want to make during the show, which is probably not good. But it does not happen often or even ever that I have ever seen it where an offensive line that was lost. Jonah Jackson was not good when this season started. Neither was Tooney. You had a left tackle that ends up being out for the season. You don't know. You got this guy from Canada. Ozzy Trapillo is on the practice squad, and who even know? Like, I don't want to say this, but maybe your left tackle doesn't matter as much right now. And who has a better offensive line right now than the Bears? And to go from that and what they were last year, which was historically bad, to this, go look at some runs by DeAndre Swift last year. He's 3 yards in the backfield, trying to break tackles. I mean, it's unbelievable how that went from -3 yards to +5 yards in 1 year. I've never seen it before myself, that an offensive line, and that's why I'm sitting here saying they're not good enough week after week, because that doesn't change during a season, man. And for somehow Ben Johnson, I forget the running backs or the offensive line coach, Bieniemy, the running backs coach. It just doesn't happen. Well, and it's happened this season, and they haven't just gone from a terrible offensive line to an okay offensive line. They're the best offensive line in the league. And Jeremiah says, do we want to win this game more than others? Yes. Does the game mean more than others? No, it doesn't. I don't think it means as much as it does to the Packers right now. But
no, it's just the fan base, right? And look, when you're looking at it as a fan, yes. I mean, is that somebody, we say it every year, we want to beat the Packers twice, right? Like, that's what it is. But from a realistic standpoint, I mean, this game means a lot because of the division and because the division's on the line. Does it mean more than others? I mean, no, you want to win every game. But with what's on the line today, I mean, it's pretty damn close to being the most meaningful game they've played all year. But to get to your point with the offensive line and the way that they're playing, I think a lot of it has to be with the scheme of the play calling, with the formations that they're running. I mean, I'm watching things where like Cole Kmet is in motion, and they snap the ball, and as they snap the ball, he stops his motion, which is bringing the linebacker to one side of the field, and he stops and he takes on the center takes on the tackle while the center is able to go upfield and take on the linebacker, which creates gaps for your running backs. I think that the formations that they're running, the scheme that they're running, is just so well designed that it's opening up more. And we've talked about it before, how sometimes a player or play calling can make a defense or an offense look better. And that's what we're finally seeing. We're finally seeing a Bears team that has some really good coaching going on. And Ben Johnson is in his bag, man. He is absolutely in his bag. Look, the Bears started out 0-2. They are 9-1 since. It's no coincidence. I don't care who they play on the schedule. To go from 0-2 to 9-1, I mean, it says something about you. And what they're doing and how they're doing it, and beating the defending Super Bowl champions in their home. And it's not like this is a defending Super Bowl champion who's having a down year. They were 8-3. They had the same record as the Bears going into that game.
No, they played well. They played well in some games.
Struggles, but you're in their house, and you did them the way that you did them. This Bears team is good, guys.
It's
really, really good.
They quit by the end of that game.
Yeah.
You not only won that game, there's blowouts happen in the NFL. I mean, Miami pretty much blew out the Buffalo Bills. I mean, those happen. You get a few plays here or there. Miami's is a fast team. They're only 5-7 now. But anyway, those things happen in the NFL. But beating a team the way the Bears beat the Eagles does not happen all the time in that way. It just doesn't. And Jeremiah,
that's also the blueprint for beating the Packers, because you can run on this Packers defense the same way they ran on the Eagles.
Yeah, especially with their, essentially their nose tackle. I've been saying the interior line is more important, and I have to hand it to you. You and Combs have been saying that to me now for 3 years, and it's hard for me to change when left tackle has been one of the most important positions in football for years now. But it seems as if the running game is taking a more front stage in an NFL where turnovers, where teams are constantly playing it safe. And a lot of these schemes are short passes. They're a lot of these teams aren't making big long throws. There's not a lot of guys that are going to throw for 4,000 yards this season. There's not a lot of guys who are going to have 40 or 50 touchdown passes. I mean, we are just 4 or 5 years removed from Patrick Mahomes doing Patrick Mahomes stuff. And then he has 22 touchdowns and goes to the Super Bowl. You see a guy with 10 interceptions now, and you're like, kind of a down year. I mean, there was guys who had 35, 40, touchdowns and 15 interceptions. You didn't blink an eye. You said they had a great season. It's a different football, and you kind of got to change the way that you're looking at it. And so do I. And you might be right that the interior line means more. I still would like a Trent Williams, but I mean, it's borne out. It's borne out, especially in that Philadelphia Eagles game. I mean, it was just unbelievable. I've never been that surprised at the way an outcome of a game was in a long time.
And left tackle, look, I mean, to your defense, left tackle is still a problem for the Bears. However, offensive line play looks a lot better, and we talked about this week over the phone. Offensive line play looks better when you have a quarterback that can escape pressure.
True.
I mean, he's only taken 19 sacks this season. He had 69 last year. It's a tremendous difference, and he's escaping pressure. And I mean, there's probably he should probably have about 34 sacks. A lesser quarterback would have about 34 sacks right now.
Yeah,
and
he was escaping sacks last year too. Just people weren't giving him credit for it. But he was also making those crazy plays where he was like spinning out of himself like 4 times, and not knowing where he is on the field, who's open. Some of that's bad coaching too. But that was also him, and he's made a lot. I mean, he has corrected a lot of things. Let's correct the accuracy next, please.
Yeah, and I think that's going to come over time. I think you start seeing peak Caleb probably year 2, year 3 with Ben Johnson. But what you're seeing now is good enough, Caleb. Caleb's been good enough, and that's all you need. And let him grow, let him figure things out. And like anything, I don't know if you agree with me. Maybe now their record changes where you think that they can go or where you think that they should go. But for me, anything from here on out is just a cherry on top of the sundae, right? Like you're 9-3 now. You're where I thought you would be at the end of the season with 9 wins. You're going from here. Everything you go from here is just, a step up into an actual playoff team. 10 wins get you into the playoffs. 11 wins might get you a first round bye. 12 wins, I think definitely gets you a first round bye. So you start looking at this team and what they can be moving forward. But at this point, I think what I would tell Bears fans is just enjoy everything from here on out for the rest of the season. This isn't a team we think even now is still capable of winning a Super Bowl. But hell, maybe they surprise us all and make a run. Just enjoy the ride. Enjoy it from here on out.
It's great. It's a good point. I'm starting to really have a lot of fun with it. If you are not watching that post game video and not thinking this is the coolest team in the league right now, you're an idiot and you're a fan of some other team. And you're not. If I was looking at another team right now that was doing some of the things the Bears are doing, I'd be going, that is the coolest team in the NFL right now. There was a time, even the Dolphins that I mentioned were a pretty cool team, even under Mike McDaniels a few years ago. This is a cool team, man. It's just fun to watch. And they got a lot of characters in that locker room.
Yeah.
I'm not reading it. Look, he's got his shirt on. He's got the shirt
the moniker.
How much time does he spend on these profile pictures? He's got to get a life. I'm worried about him.
The moniker.
If I liked him, I'd be worried about him. Doubting Thomas. Who could have possibly predicted this Bears team? Wait, I know. Yeah, you were really predicting that when they lost to Detroit. You called me up and said, "Oh, yeah, I think you're right about them this year. Oh, yeah, I think you're right." Because that phone call did happen, Doubting Thomas.
By the way, the college football playoff is coming out slowly. 1 is Indiana, 2 is Ohio State, 3 is Georgia, 4 is Texas Tech. I like the way that they just flipped Indiana and Ohio State instead of dropping Ohio State down to like 3 or 4, because that guarantees that if we do get Indiana, Ohio State again, which I think would be a phenomenal championship game, that's when it would be in the championship game. So I think that they got that right. And then still no surprise, 5, 6, 7, 8, where you've got Oregon, you've got Oklahoma, you got Texas A&M. So it's going to be interesting here, because you're going to find out whether or not they want Notre Dame in or whether or not they want Alabama in. And then the question is JMU or Duke. Do you let the ACC champion Duke get in as the 12 seed, or JMU as a non-power 5 get in? I don't think it matters. I think each team gets their ass handed to them by Ole Miss in the first round. So I don't think it matters, but we'll find out.
Without Lane Kiffin. Oh no.
Yeah.
What a horse's ass that guy is. My God.
See, you have a problem with him leaving?
I just have a problem with all of his comments on top of it too, saying that the players didn't want him to leave, and the players are like, he can get his happy ass out of here. I don't care. None of them cared, and he said they cared.
Yeah,
but wanted to get back to Caleb, Jeremiah.
Wow. Sorry. Alabama just got revealed as the 9 seed. They will take on Oklahoma. So now Miami or Notre Dame for the 10 seed is the question.
Miami.
Wow. Bama gets in as a 9 seed. So ahead of Notre Dame and ahead of Miami with 3 losses. I told you it was going to happen. Alabama puts butts in seats, man. They're going to take on an Oklahoma team who already beat them. So it'll be a rematch in the first round.
Wow.
Oklahoma, Alabama. Interesting. Very interesting. As these playoffs are the
interesting word
coming down to it.
Interesting word.
Yes.
Notre Dame will not get 10. I mean, it'll be Miami.
I don't see any way you put Miami in over Notre Dame.
Well, they beat
Notre Dame. I get the head-to-head, but it's since then Notre Dame has run roughshod over everybody, and Miami has 2 unranked losses. Notre Dame lost 2 games this year by a combined total of 4 points.
Yeah, but to keep that team out that you lost to, I don't know. For me, it just
then don't lose to unranked opponents. Like if Miami's losses were to ranked teams, I would say yes. But Miami, you lose to Miami, they're a top 10 team. They lost to Louisville and SMU, who were not ranked. They're not even ranked, and it is Miami that gets in at 10. Wow.
Yep. I could have told you that. Wow. I think it's Alabama that deserved to be out of that top 10. I mean, I think that to me, that's obvious, but
Notre Dame gets left out of the college football playoff. That is,
They can be in the they might make it into the Tostitos Bowl though.
That's a terrible decision by the committee.
Or the Durex,
anybody says.
The Durex Condom Bowl.
That is an absolute, and not only that, but you had Notre Dame ranked 4 spots ahead of Miami the entire time in the college football playoff.
They could make it into the Pornhub Bowl.
That's insane to me. Notre Dame had strength of schedule that was 24 spots higher than Miami's. Their FPI was 3rd. Miami's was 7th. Strength of record was higher than Miami's. I mean, scored more total points against common opponents than Miami. So if your only thing that you're putting them in over is a field goal victory in week 1, that's wild. But okay. That's
Junior
where we're
at. with a Drake May and a Santa hat.
Does he have? Did he borrow his comment from your brother?
Notre Dame didn't make it, but he has the Bears, top 2 team in the NFL. I wonder who he has number 1. A little jerk. Actually, I think he's bigger than me, but whatever.
Unreal. All right. Well, there you have it. We'll find out who 11 and 12 are. Obviously,
Jeremiah, it's the
Tulane
NCAA
is 11.
It's the NCAA trying to get them to. Why am I rubbing myself?
To join the
Anyway.
conference. Well, but that doesn't make any sense because Miami's in a conference and they didn't even make their own conference championship game. I mean,
yeah, but I think people's
either.
argument has traditionally been that Notre Dame will play tougher opponents if they're in a conference.
They've always played tougher opponents, though. What are you talking about? They've always played tougher opponents.
Who is
Notre Dame? Notre Dame had a top 15
great
schedule this year.
Who? Yeah,
Miami played the 54th ranked strength of schedule this year, 54th. So I don't want to hear about like common opponent. I mean, what are we talking about? We're gonna put we've got teams like Tulane and James Madison going in. Are we going? You want to talk about common opponents?
I just think you should take a breath, try to think this out.
It's stupid.
And just look at the syphilis tree in my background and just try to calm down. Why don't you have any Christmas stuff, by the way? This is the problem here. I mean, why not just breathe a little bit and not have your head stuck up sports ass all the time and kind of see, the forest for the trees a little bit here, buddy. Let's have a little therapist session with you for a little while. If anybody needs therapy on this show, I don't think it's me. I think it's you.
Are you done now?
I'm just saying. As soon as Alabama was 9, you knew Miami was going to be 10. I mean, if you didn't think that.
I don't think that a team that in Miami, I mean, good luck beating Texas A&M when you couldn't beat Louisville or SMU.
Oh no, they're going to lose.
Notre Dame played Texas A&M earlier this season and lost by 1 point. Texas A&M is going to destroy Miami. It's just it's dumb. I also think, but here's the thing too. I think it's dumb that you have Tulane and James Madison in the college football playoff too. I don't think that you need to have 5 conference championships in a 12-team playoff format, especially when you're going to put teams like Tulane and JMU in. Tulane is going to lose to Ole Miss by 20 points, and Oregon is going to probably beat James Madison by 100 points. Why is that a college football playoff game? You don't have the 12 best teams in the college football playoff. What's the point of the playoff?
I think you have to have those teams fighting in a conference for something, I guess.
No, you don't though, because this is for these teams are going to come in. Sure, great. They get in, right? They get to play one game in the college football playoff. But James Madison's not beating Oregon. Tulane's not beating Ole Miss. Like, what are we doing where we're putting those teams in, even if it was Miami or Alabama or Notre Dame that gets left out, in over those teams? And beyond that, why are they ahead of teams like Texas, who would put up more of a fight in their college football playoff game than Tulane or James Madison will? Like, that's the problem with that. The other thing that I said that I would do with the college football playoff is I would take the 8 through 15 and I would have them next weekend after the conference championships. I would take 8 through 15 and I would have them play a game. And I would have them go against one another and the winners go in. 8 plays 15, 9 plays 14.
How many games do you think these kids can play?
They're paid athletes, man. You can talk about kids all you want. You can talk about students these are paid athletes now. These guys get millions of dollars to play football. I don't care how many games you make them play.
Hey, Nick.
But that's how you fix it and get away from the voting. I mean,
Nick says, LOL, crying Irish.
No, look, Notre Dame getting left out with 2 losses. That if they were a 1-loss team, sure. I think that they are a better team right now than Miami, sure. But I'm not gonna cry that they're not in. I'm just saying, why are teams like James Madison and Tulane getting in over teams like Notre Dame, Texas, like all these teams that will put up a better fight?
Aren't people going to be whining if they're not in that 15 team thing then? And then it's like, oh, let's spread it out to 20 teams. And these kids are playing 19 games before their college careers
I
are
think
over.
what's going to end up happening anyway is you're going to end up with two super conferences. And you're going to end up with divisions in those conferences. And you're going to end up with, it's going to be an NFL style. It's going to be based off of records and not off of rankings. That's why I think for right now, what
oh, really? So a 3-loss team should not have been in it.
Yeah. It's not about James Madison and Tulane. James Madison struggled in their conference championship game against Troy. Now, granted, they pulled away late, but I mean they pulled away late. They went up by 7, and then all of a sudden a pick 6 with 4 minutes to go, and then a fumble with 2 minutes to go, and all of a sudden they win by 15 or 16 or whatever the hell it was. But they pulled away late against Troy.
This is a little bit
and
more.
Now they're going to play Texas A&M.
This is a little bit more than I thought we'd talk about James Madison.
Well, but I mean, it's a fair question, right?
Week.
Like, why would James Madison and Tulane be in a play? Like, if you want a 12-team playoff, it's got to be the 12 best teams, you would think, right? Like, if you're going to have a college football playoff, and I don't care about James Madison being a smaller school, Tulane being a smaller school, playing in smaller conferences, be the best team. Like, if James Madison was an undefeated team, sure, but you look at who they're playing and who they played in their schedule. Like, it's not, come on, man. What are we talking about? So that's the problem that I see with the college football playoff. Have a play-in the week after the college football. They struggled with Troy, Nick Johnston. JMU is not good. They're not. And they're going to get beat. I guarantee they probably open up as a 20.5 point underdog to Texas A&M. And I would bet the minus 20.5 in a heartbeat. They're not going to be good against any of these teams in the college football playoff.
Could I play a video that might be a palate cleanser for all of this, and we can stop talking about college football?
Why would you want to stop talking about college football?
Because it's Bears-Packers week. The Bears are 9-3. The Packers are 8-3-1.
They're about to
play. They're about to play.
You're acting like we didn't even talk about it. We talked about it for the first half hour.
I think we barely scratched the surface. None of us even said Rome Odunze.
We did talk about Rome Odunze. We talked about him having a fractured foot. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks.
A little bit.
What do you want to talk about a guy who's not playing? He's not playing. What do you want to talk about?
Usually you say with a quarterback, particularly a mobile quarterback, make him go to his left. He's as comfortable rolling to his left, flipping his hips.
Komet?
Yes.
And
you know what he is? For me, he's John Elway from my generation.
Oh, wow.
Now.
Who's John Elway?
Caleb Williams. Who do you think he was talking about there? Who throws the ball to Colt Kmet?
Look, as a guy wearing a Caleb Williams jersey.
That's why I wanted this as a palate cleanser.
As a guy wearing
why is your
Bears
face
hat,
turning 3 shades of red?
We're going to compare Caleb Williams to John Elway now. I mean, I hope.
That's what he said.
I hope at some point he's John Elway. But come on, man. We got to stop with these hot takes. These things just to get clicks have got to stop. Like Colin
You think
Cowherd,
Howie Long is doing
idiot,
that? You think Howie Long?
You think Howie Long really believes Caleb Williams is John Elway?
I think that there was a lot of people who jumped on the Caleb Williams is bad bandwagon a little bit too quickly.
Oh yeah, that I agree with.
You
Come
know,
on,
I
that
even thought that
comparison?
there was a chance that it might teeter towards that way, but I I mean, you can misconstrue what I said. I never said he was bad. I think there was a lot of people that were going that way, and now there's this rumbling of voices and people around the NFL that are starting to go, no, this guy's pretty good and he's teachable at the same time. He's learning how to play a quarterback and he's good enough to be able to be, like you just said, just good enough. And like Jeremiah was saying, late in games, he's good enough to where he can learn and still be successful at the same time, which is what you want to see. That's the best way to develop a quarterback. That's why I was so pissed off about last year. Why Ben Johnson wasn't this coach of this football team last year. And don't tell me he wouldn't have came here last year. He would have. He was already thinking about it. Because you have a losing season with Caleb Williams and he has to learn everything while we're going through this season. Because they didn't want to pay two coaches at the same time.
Ownership didn't want to. Yeah, exactly. Ownership was cheap. So they did what they always do and they screw it up. But I think that this thing is going to be good. I think that Caleb Williams is going to be really, really good. I think he's still, maybe 2 years away from really starting to see his potential. Like I wouldn't say his potential, but actually reaching his potential. I think that Caleb Williams is a guy that can be a perennial MVP candidate. I think he can be a guy that we talk about in the same ilk that we talk Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. He can be that guy who at the beginning of every season we're like, well, how good are their Bears going to be this year? They have Caleb Williams. What are they going to do this year? As opposed to what we've been talking about, hell, ever since we started the show and even for 30 years before that as just fans. Talking about the way that we've talked about this franchise. At least now, I think we're going to be able to talk about this pairing, Ben Johnson and Caleb, the same way that we talk about Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, the same way that we talk about Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. And you're going to be able to see this franchise in a different light moving forward. But, I mean, let's slow down.
Well, I think he does. Jeremiah's right. He does say he's not John Elway now, but that John Elway did struggle at the beginning of his career, but was good at the end of at the end of games. Had some escapability. Yeah. I mean, John Elway could really run when he was younger. And then he got better as he went on. So I mean, that makes a little bit more sense. I didn't play the whole clip, but he did kind of refer to him as John Elway, and he knew what he was saying when he said it.
Yeah.
Andy Reid never took his shirt off. Well, he is a walrus, so
he is a walrus.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one day, maybe that's what happens to coaches. Maybe one day Ben Johnson will be a walrus at some point. If he's winning Super Bowls and it is the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid type deal in Chicago, he can look at however he wants. And so can Andy Reid. And if you remember, Jeremiah, Terry Bradshaw got in trouble and they wanted to cancel Terry Bradshaw because he was kind of referring to Andy Reid as like, hey, waddle over here, and that he is a walrus. And people forgot that Andy Reid calls himself a walrus. So that whole thing was kind of weird when they won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
It
looks like a backup.
There's a lot of things that are weird.
He probably has sex with his shirt on. He definitely goes swimming with his shirt on. So I would think he has sex with his shirt on too. How many minutes of your life have you thought of Andy Reid having sex? Mr. Combs, go.
0 minutes.
Since there's no Fitzgibberish this week, that's That's just gibberish. Right?
That's
Thank you, Jeremiah.
all right. You ready to get into our picks?
Yes.
All right. Let's start with Seattle and Atlanta. In Atlanta, Seattle is a 7-point favorite against the Falcons.
Wow.
I'll go first. I'll take the Seahawks. I'll give up the points. The Falcons are bad, even at home. And I know there's a lot of things that surprise you in the NFL this year. I don't think this is going to be one of them. I think the Seahawks run away with this one. They're
Even
good.
though Atlanta's played well too, not lately, but they've had some games where it's like, oh, they won. But I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yeah.
We can move on.
All right. Big one this afternoon, Bengals and Bills. In Buffalo, Bengals have to win out to be a playoff team, even to have a chance at being a playoff team. They are 4-8 right now, but they haven't lost since Joe Burrow's come back. Their offense has looked a lot better, and even their defense has looked a lot better since Joe Burrow has come back. Going up against the Buffalo Bills, 5-1 at home this year are the Buffalo Bills. It is snowing like crazy right now in Buffalo. I was watching a video earlier of them warming up, and the snow is just like, it almost looks like rain. That's how fast the snow is coming down. You know it's snowing hard when you can just see the flakes just flashing in front of everybody's face on the camera. Buffalo is a 6-point favorite against the Bengals.
It's a toughie. I'm going Bills. I don't think Bills don't have a lot of losses left that they can shell out either. And I just think they're the better team. I think they have a slightly better defense and probably matched up on offense too. Cooks has looked great too. So
I think this is a high scoring game. And the total is 54.5. I think that goes over 54.5. I bet it earlier at 53. I like the Bengals in this one to cover because it's going to be a shootout, because it's going to be high scoring. I think that the Bengals will find a way to stay within a touchdown. Maybe this game gets won late by 4 or 5 points on a touchdown by Buffalo or something, but I think the Bengals cover the 6 points. Let's go to a barn burner, by meaning which, if you decide to watch this game, you might decide to burn your barn down instead. Titans versus the Browns in
I knew you were
Cleveland.
going to it. Cleveland.
Just
I'm taking
4.5
Cleveland.
favorite.
I've
Cleveland?
not taken the Titans all season. I'm not going to start now.
Well, that's good
Here we
because
go,
they're 1-11.
Yes.
I'm also going to go Cleveland. 4.5 points is a lot of points to give up with the Browns team, regardless of who they're playing. But I think that pass rush is going to be too much for Cam Ward. I think Myles Garrett might have 9 sacks today. All right, Commanders, Vikings in Minnesota. Commanders surprisingly get Jaden Daniels back today against the Vikings, which when I saw that arm injury, I didn't think there was any way he was coming back this season. But against the Vikings, JJ McCarthy's coming back, which means I'll be able to take Washington minus 100.
Yes,
but I only have to take a -1.5, so Washington -1.5.
I don't think I don't think he's a real quarterback, at least until I see something different. I'm not going to think that for quite some time. I'm taking Washington as well. I can't believe Jaden Daniels is back. I mean, maybe pack it in for the season, big guy or slight guy.
You would have thought the same thing about Joe Burrow, right? Like, why are you coming back? He came back 3 weeks early from injury to a 2-8 team.
Yeah, selfishly, I want to watch Joe Burrow play football. That's
fair.
A little different. I mean, but yeah.
All right, Dolphins, Jets, another barn burner.
Dolphins are 5-7. Here come the Fins. Here come the Fins. You've hated them all year.
If they don't lose another game, they can find themselves in a wild card spot. I like the Jets in this one. I really do. I think the Jets are playing better football. And they're in New York. They're out of the warm weather in Miami. They're playing in New York where it's going to be cold today. Really, really cold today. And possibly even snowy there as well. I'm gonna take the Jets plus the 2.5.
They are a favorite at home, but I'm taking the Fins. I
Okay.
think they might have something shaking over there.
Fins are giving up 2.5, so they're favorite on the road.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. All right, Saints Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's a 7.5-point favorite over the Saints. I'll go first on this one.
I know
I'm
you're
gonna take
taking
the Saints plus
I knew it.
7.5
I fucking knew it.
because look, Tampa's still injured. You're still without Mike Evans. They're still going through so much injury. I don't know if I think maybe he is. Egbuka's playing today. But I know they're without Evans still. They're hoping to get him back for Thursday night. It's tough, man. And the Saints team, look, they don't win a lot, but they cover a lot. And 7.5 is a ton of points right now with a really beat up Tampa Bay team. So I'm gonna take the Saints.
I disagree. The Saints are trash. I think you just want to act like you're this is your Jed Hoyer acting job. Like you want to act like you're smart. So you take the Saints when you know the Buccaneers are going to kill them.
I win.
All the way. I'm
That's
taking
what
the
I
Bucks
do.
again. I'm back on the Buck train, especially if they get
12 and
Mike
4
Evans
last
back
week.
soon.
12-4 last week. You by the way were you were 8-8. All right, Colts Jaguars. Colts are a 2.5-point road favorite in Jacksonville. Here's the thing. I'll go first again if you want. I hate doing this.
Oh, here we go. It's because of
taking
his
the
long
Jacksonville
blonde
Jaguars.
hair.
No, it's because the Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014. And the Jaguars are playing better football, and the Colts are trending down, and Daniel Jones is playing with a broken fibula. So I don't like Daniel Jones with two intact fibulas, let alone with one of them being broken. So yeah, I'm going with the Jaguars.
Yeah, I don't like or believe in either of these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Really, I don't. But so I'm probably going to defer to the running back, and I know the Colts definitely have with Jonathan Taylor. I think he's the best running back in the league right now. I'm going to take the Colts.
Jaguars have
very
the
close.
number 1 rushing defense in the league. Does that change your mind at all?
Remember who you are.
I mean, I just think
Maybe someone should tell Daniel Jones to forget who he is. I mean, because since we played that, he's been bad.
I said a month ago that the Colts are going to lose this division, and they aren't even going to make the playoffs. So there's no way I could pick them in that game. Let's go Steelers Ravens, big AFC North matchup. This one's for first place in the AFC North.
Jeremiah says Taylor is defense proof. How about that?
That's fair. Steelers Ravens.
Oh, you
Ravens
agree with him? He says that you agree with him.
I said it's
idiot.
fair. I didn't agree with him. I said it's fair. It's a fair point.
Okay, let's go.
Ravens minus 5.5 at home against the Steelers. Lamar's been bad. The Steelers have been
Not good.
But yeah, I mean they're chanting fire Tomlin at the end of the game last week in Pittsburgh. I think the Ravens win this one, even though Lamar has not been good, and he does not traditionally play well against the Steelers. His passer rating is 71.3 against the, or I'm sorry, 73.1 against the Steelers in his career. He's got 10 touchdowns to 12 interceptions against the Steelers.
Yikes.
But I think they find a way. I think they run the ball a lot today. I think Derrick Henry carries this team to a victory.
Yeah, I agree. I think Baltimore this year, when their backs are to the wall, they've played well. I mean, this was a team that was 1-5 and then was resuscitated back to life by some team I can't remember.
Yeah.
With their third string quarterback. That was the Bears game. And now they're 6-6. I think they win this game, and I think they win it decisively. I think that's it. The whole Pittsburgh Aaron Rodgers thing, just go away. Just go away now. I loved seeing him full of blood. I hate to say it. He is another human being, kind of. But that's enough. Go away, Aaron Rodgers. Let's go. next game.
All right. Broncos, Raiders in Vegas. Raiders always play the Broncos tough. The last time they played was on Thursday Night Football, and it was one of the most miserable games I've ever watched in my entire life. It was a
A
brutally
lot of
bad
Thursday night
football
games
game.
are that way, but yeah.
But Denver's an 8.5-point favorite in Vegas. Where you going?
I'm going Denver all the way. I think that Las Vegas Raiders thing is Pete Carroll. Just because you're Pete Carroll, you still have a job because that thing looks ugly. You made a lot of bad decisions in the offseason with personnel.
Yeah. No, I think that the Broncos are a better team too. I think that they cover this spread. I think that they make us. There's another 10-2 team that a lot of people are down in. For whatever reason, people aren't believing in Bo Nix, who has almost 3,000 yards passing, who has 19 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. I don't know what they're seeing. They're 10-2. I think this team is good. All right, let's go Rams, Cardinals, NFC West battle. Rams are a 9.5-point favorite in Arizona. Arizona's been pretty damn bad, but last week Matthew Stafford had a rare off game with 3 turnovers.
He did.
But already over the 3,000-yard passing mark, 32 touchdowns to 4 interceptions this year. He's the MVP. I'll take the Rams minus 9.5.
Yeah, I think he bounces back. Maybe they took Carolina lightly and kind of looked past that game. I don't know why you'd look past it to the Cardinals, but I think they paced the Cardinals today by a few touchdowns at least.
Yeah. Here's another good game. Texans Chiefs Sunday Night Football. Texans are 7-5, Chiefs 6-6. Chiefs can't afford very many more losses, if any. Chiefs are a 3.5-point favorite in Kansas City against the Texans, who have the number 1 ranked defense, overall defense in the league. I'm gonna go Texans here. I think the Texans win this game outright. I really do.
I agree. I think they win this outright too. I think there's a reason why. I think this is another team. They were 1-4 or 1-3. Now they're 7-5. They've been playing really good ball. You're right. Best defense in the league. The over-under is pretty low in this game. One of the lowest for the week, other than the Broncos Raiders game, 41.5.
Yeah.
I think it is going to be a low scoring game, but I think they win. I don't think Kansas City makes the playoffs this year.
I don't think they do either. I think we could possibly, and I don't think that it happens. But we could possibly have a world where we don't have the Chiefs, the Ravens, or the Bills in the playoffs.
That would be crazy. I think the Bills are going to make it, though. I think the Bills might end up being I think they might be the best team in the AFC at the end when all is said and done, but could be wrong.
Yeah.
Mahomes.
All right, then Monday Night Football. Yeah, well, that's the thing. The Chiefs can't protect Patrick Mahomes, and the Texans can get there, man. So was it? I saw the stat. Patrick Mahomes has the most passing yards outside of the pocket. The Texans have allowed the least passing yards outside of the pocket per game, allowing only 11 yards per game passing outside of the pocket. That's incredible. That's why I just think the Texans can get to Patrick Mahomes. I think they're going to wreak havoc tonight, even though it's outside. It's at Kansas City, which is going to be a tough place to play as always. But I think the Texans have that defense that can do it. All right. Eagles Chargers Monday Night Football.
Should be a great game.
Should be a great game. We've got the Eagles are a 1.5-point favorite in LA against the Chargers.
I know the Chargers have been up and down this season, but I got to stick with them. I like Jim Harbaugh. I'm taking the Chargers in this. I think the Eagles are on the way down. I still think they squeak into the playoffs. They sort of have a light division over there, but I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, they deal with.
not the Eagles. I'm taking the Chargers. The
Eagles have been dealing with so much scrutiny, and they don't handle that well in Philadelphia. They just don't. They don't handle down times very well. And since losing that game to the Bears, it's a lot of people are really down on them now. I like the Chargers in this game too. I really do. They get Omari and Hampton back this week. That's a huge lift for the Chargers. You can run against the Eagles, as we saw last week with the Bears. I think Omarion Hampton has a day in his first game back. He looked good in the videos that I was watching of him run some drills. It looks like he's ready to go. So I think the Chargers have it. And even with Justin Herbert, whether or not he plays with that fractured non-throwing hand that he just had surgery on, but they said he wants to go. We'll see if he does go. But either way, I still think that the Chargers, they find a way to win this game.
Oh, Breezy checking in. We thrive as underdogs. Go Birds.
You didn't? How'd you thrive last week?
Yeah.
And they're not underdogs. They're favorites.
Yeah, they are favorites this week.
Yeah. How'd it go last week, Breezy? How'd that Eagles game go? Just wondering.
Did it go?
I can't remember.
Ugh.
I had a friend who asked me. I told him I'd find out. Could you tell
We'll
me?
figure it
Can you
out.
remind me,
We'll
OG
get back.
Breezy, who won that game?
We'll get back to you on that. Yeah, that's a tough one.
It wasn't a tough one. It was a
I
great
mean,
one.
for
How
him,
was that tough for you?
for him, it was tough for him.
I mean,
They
you
got-
did pick the Eagles too, though.
Y'all whooped us. Pissed me off. They did. I mean, like I said, it's not like a new modern ass whooping in the NFL, but that was an old school, just punch you in the mouth.
Beat you in the trenches all over the place.
Oh my God.
Yep. Absolutely. 110%. All right. Final game. Last game to pick, obviously. Bears. Oh, God. Hunter.
What does this mean? Freeman is definitely heading to your knock after getting hosed out of the playoffs.
The Giants,
know.
the Giants want Freeman. Notre Dame.
Okay. I don't think that's going to happen, but
It might.
maybe there's something I'm not.
There's a lot of NFL. He's been linked to a lot of NFL.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, even last year.
I don't
he
want
was.
him to go, but I hate that.
Well, Breezy said he
Anyway.
didn't talk for 2 days. that's an Eagles fan.
All right, Bears, Packers. Packers 6.5 point favorite at Lambeau. It's supposed to be like 9 degrees. Negative feel with the wind chill at kickoff. Where are you going?
Not a super windy game like last week, and I think the Bears will be fine. We never got to it again, but I think we'll be fine with Roma Dunze being out. I think they'll be fine because I think DJ comes in pretty well to fit in as your number one right receiver, even possession receiver. I have the Bears winning this game outright. I don't think it'll be by a lot, but again, and I'll say it again, the Bears have the ball at the end of the game, even if they're down with a minute and a half to go. I'll take the Bears a lot. And I think it might not even come down to that. I mean, I think they're going to win this game pretty well. I think -6.5. I agree with you. I think it's disrespectful. I also think it's dumb. I don't know what Las Vegas is thinking on this one, but go ahead, especially after last week's game.
Jeremiah says, "Oh, great, we lost now." Look, I'm also taking.
You guys
the Bears.
had your fun.
The Bears are good, man, and it's okay to say that. And one thing that we know, and he said it in his press conference, Ben Johnson doesn't lose to Matt LaFleur, and Matt LaFleur led teams are 0-6 versus Ben Johnson led teams in the regular season.
Yeah.
0-6. I'm just telling you, this team is good. I think they sweep the Packers this year, and it starts today at Lambeau. Bear down. I think that might be the reason why Jules didn't join the show today.
I think she's in Green Bay right now. I think she was going to the game. I meant to mention.
I don't. There's no. It's no.
Jules,
excuse.
a Green Bay Packers fan that somehow watches our show.
Yeah.
She's nice enough to. In Green
She
Bay
should be
today.
watching while she's in Green Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
Bless her soul.
Yeah.
Shut up, Jeremiah. I'm mad at you now, at least for a couple of weeks.
Well,
I can't be a realist.
You do pick up against the Bears a lot, and when
I
you do
can't
pick
be a
against them, they win,
realist.
especially in big games. You picked against them against Philly. They
I
won.
didn't think that they all of a sudden would have the best offensive line in the league for the first time in 40 years. I'm sorry I didn't see that coming. You guys,
You're
just
sorry
guessed
you didn't
it.
see that coming.
You guys
Well,
just guessed it. You guys just
didn't I
guessed
tell
it.
you?
You
Didn't I
guys
tell
are
you
great.
that
You
was
guys
coming?
just guessed it. You're wearing a Bears jersey. Obviously, you thought that.
All right, guys. We will see you guys next. Same bat time, same bat channel. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies. We might have a Bears post game. I think. I don't know.
Will.
We will. Okay, we're gonna have a Bears post game. We'll see you guys after the show. For those that don't join us after the show, screw you.
Yeah.